Hey, it's Jeremy again, and welcome back to Blender for Designers. Got a quick tip for you today. Going to show you how to make an image with a blown out white background. Kind of thing you see in like a product shot or a print piece. And what's great is this lighting doesn't take very long at all to set up. So let's get started. So I'm going to bring up the can that I made last week. So we got this can, and let's say we have a dozen of them. So we got an array modifier here, which creates a nice dozen of them. And then let's say we have a nice little tray of them here like this. All right, so we got a nice tray with a dozen. We just want to have something we can display to people. So first of all, we want to get a background going. So I'm going to open my node editor and go to background. So we open a texture, environment texture, and then I'm going to open the one up here that I rendered myself right here and plug that in. And then now, if I go to rendered, yep, there we go. Beautiful cans, a nice tray. But as you can see, you have this whole environment texture here in the background. It's not nicely on white. So let's get nicely on white. So the way you do that is take advantage of the fact that environment textures are very similar to materials. So you can use basically what's called a mix texture. So we mix it with white. So we create another shader, background shader, and we'll make that solid white. And then we'll add a shader, a mix shader, and we'll plug these both in. All right, and I'll show you what it's like when I connect this. So when you connect it, you see it's just half white, half not, and that's not what we want. So let's just bring that back and then finish the shader. So what we want to do is we want to have all these reflections nicely like that, but we want to have it white in the background. So the way you do that is you actually use as a factor whether the camera's viewing it or not. And to generate that, I'm just going to show you how to do it. You add an input and a light path. And then you say is camera array. And then that is correct. Yes, you see the correct reflections, but it's all in a sea of white. And you didn't have to build a cyc or anything. So that's cool. But now we probably want some sort of, shadow or reflections on the floor or something. So we're gonna get this thing centered, and then let's get out of here. Let's get out of rendered mode, and let's add a plane. And we'll scale it up, and we'll move it over. And we'll move it back and get it approximately centered. Doesn't really matter that much because you'll see why in a minute. All right, so now let's go and render it again. And now we notice the plane's kind of gray. Let's change the material. Let's add a material to it. Let's make it pure white. And actually, let's make it let's do a nice mix of diffuse and reflective. So we'll add a shader, glossy shader. And we'll make these both pure white. So there we go. We have a nice little reflective 0.1. So you have a nice little reflective surface there. But, the surface is not white, and it doesn't look very good. So we're going to scale it up so it just does the whole thing. And then what we'll do is I'll actually split the view here so we can see what we're doing while we do this. So what we'll do is we'll add a plane, bring that up here, and then we'll make this our light. So we'll create an emission material. And bring that way up, like something like 10. And make that nice and big. And then what you can do is go to the top view, and put that kind of to the back a little bit. There you go. So what you can see is now I can blow out. So you can see if I zoom in here, and kind of blow out the background while keeping this kind of reflective foreground thingy going. So you can do that. You can even make it really big, and bring it even further back. So you can bring this way up, and then you can bring this. You can scale this in Y, kind of make it a little narrower, so it's not quite so it'll blow out this area, but won't blow these out as much. So I'm just going to widen it even more. So yeah, it's kind of sitting in a kind of a sea of white now. So, I mean, let's see what that actually looks like in a camera. So to do that, we have to get a camera. I actually got rid of my camera. So we're going to bring that out. And we'll do line camera to view. Yeah, and then we can kind of aim it there. Yeah, and actually it was a ton of an accident, but let's go 60mm lens. Get a nice kind of white outline there. Yeah. And we got a little bit of reflection here, but we can tweak this material on the floor a little bit. We can bring it a little bit less glossy. And if you want to, if we want to, we can shield this top a little bit. We can, add another plane. I'm rotating at 90 degrees, and I'm going to make this black diffuse material. And then we can just shield. Shield out the ultra bright light a little bit. So there you go. There you have it. That's the image. And I'm going to go ahead and render this off screen so you don't have to watch all that stuff. But this is what I ended up with. Same file I just worked on. So I hope you enjoyed this quick tip. I'll come back later with some more. But for now, I'm going to fade to white.